let me answer 2 questions that came through this week, because last week we prompted you guys about the headshots, right? We're going to keep going with the headshots pretty soon, but for now, let me answer just 2 questions. Question number 1 is headshots. Should I shoot it wide open? The answer to this question is you can, but you shouldn't. Not because you can, you should shoot wide open. Okay? Thanks, Donavanda. Yeah, so I usually, the way I do this, the way I do the headshots, I'm closing my aperture to cut the ambient light. Once I cut the ambient light, I'm shooting and I'm looking at the back of the camera, right? Once the back of the camera comes totally black, that's my aperture there. Depending on the scene, I'm about a f8, and that's how I am going to shoot. Why is that? Because 1, I want to have full control over the light. I want 100% control over the light. Once I see the back of the camera totally black, I know the ambient light is not going to affect my photography, my picture. Okay, so first thing, dial your aperture to a point where you're not seeing ambient light. Okay, hello Anna. And then the second reason I do that, because if I'm f8, I'm guaranteed I'm gonna have a picture in focus. All right, I'm going to be solid on focus. Now, if I had like a plain background that I don't need that background blurred, why am I going to do wide open? Why am I going to take a chance and do a picture wide open, risking doing having a picture that's not in focus? Okay, so I'm close about like f5, 6, f8 until I'm closing the aperture until I see black on the back of the screen of the camera. That's how I shoot the headshots. Okay, no, can you go wide open? Yes. Should you go wide open? The answer is no. Okay, so and the second question now we have, if I'm going to do headshots on location, what do I need? That's a good question. So the first thing you're going to need 2 lights, right? You need at least 2 lights to get started, so you don't know what the environment there is. And then you're going to need a stool to get people sitting down more comfortable. All right, number 3, of course, softbox. Of course, you need a background, and you also need a reflector. Bring a reflector to bounce the light. Sometimes you need light under the chin here. Okay, and what we're going to do in the future, we're going to show some headshots. This is going to be a live demo. We're going to show some headshot lighting patterns. So before we go into our headshot adventure. Okay, I'm tracking time on my iPad today because I don't have my computer is at work, is at on the shop. All right, so let's talk about mini sessions. Okay, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let me know here if mini session is something that you're interested in, that we gonna talk about this tonight. So let me know, hit that heart button there if you do mini sessions, or if you want to do mini sessions. If you do mini sessions, or if you want to do mini sessions, hit that heart button there so we can see some interaction on this live. Okay, so I want to start this asking a question. Why do you do mini sessions? Why do we do mini sessions? I mean, what's the goal of a mini session? Why are we doing mini sessions? All right, and I'm going to leave it open because it blows my mind why people are so obsessed with mini sessions, right? And when I say people, I say photographers. I can understand the client side of it, but I don't understand the photographer side of it, right? And listen, I'm not hating on mini sessions. I'm not hating on people who do mini sessions, okay? What I'm saying is that I don't like the way people do mini sessions. Mini session can be profitable, but I don't like the way people do mini sessions. I'm going to do mini sessions, half an hour, $35, and that's it. And then you get 2 clients, then you get pissed that nobody signed up. I'm going to give you a blueprint on how to be successful with a mini session. All right? First thing you need to do with mini session, you have to have a goal. Like everything in life, guys, everything in life, you have to have a plan. You have to have a goal. What is your goal of doing the mini sessions? Doing mini sessions just for the heck of it, it's not going to take you anywhere. You're going to get like 3 or 4 people and make $150, and that's it. And sometimes you pay to set up, you pay a location, you're going to end up paying more than what you make. Why do this? Right? Why do you put yourself through this? What you need to do, you need to plan ahead and make it profitable. And tonight, I'm going to give you a blueprint on how to make it profitable. But before we get there, stay until the end to get those goods, because before we get there, we will need to tell you what not to do. All right? There are 3 reasons why I can't see why I can't see a mini session would be useful. I don't do mini sessions because, not because I think I'm too good to whatever it is. No, it's not the case. It's pretty much because I don't see the value of it. It doesn't fit my business plan. Okay, at this point now, I don't do mini sessions. Not saying I'm never going to do them, but at this point now, I do not do mini sessions. If I were to do a mini session today, I would have to have a price point at $150, right? Because that's the only way it works. If you're doing mini session for $35, there's one way to do it, and we're going to talk about this later. Just hang tight there. So, why? This is the good part. Why I would consider doing a mini session? Number one, to build a portfolio. Okay, mini sessions don't have to be just families. You can do mini sessions with engagement couples. You could do a mini session for families. You could do a mini session for newborn, whatever. If you need to improve your portfolio in some areas, mini sessions are a good way to do it. All right, but remember the goal. Remember, I'm going to keep coming back to this all the time. I'm going to underline it here on my notes. You must have a goal. You can't just put things together and go there and do a mini session. Nothing's going to happen, right? What is your goal? If your goal is to build portfolio, it's to build portfolio. Then mini session may be a good thing for you, all right? Let's say you schedule 10 couples, okay? To come and do a mini session, to build a portfolio. You're going to have a bunch of images to put on portfolio. Even 5 couples, if you have 5 couples signing up for the mini session, understanding from the beginning on your end that this is not to make money. This is to build your portfolio. What happens is that people sign up 5 people, they say, oh, you know what, I can make some money with it. Oh, let's make it happen. Then, the goal now is a different one. One goal is to build portfolio. You're not interested in the money. You can do it free if you want to. I don't advise that, but you could do it free. But you want to build your portfolio. Yeah, Marcio is saying, when I did, I charged $125 for 20 minutes each session. Marcio tells us, how did it go? Did you get people to sign up? How many people did you get? Was it worth it? Do you keep doing it? Did you stop? Let us know here in the comments, Marcio, how that worked for you. Because that's a good price point there. The question is, did he get people to sign up for the mini session? Because what we see around here is $35, $50. That is like, Okay, so the good reasons to do a mini session: to build your portfolio. Reason number 2 to do a mini session: to test new gear. You could do mini sessions to test a new lens, to test a new camera, to play with your settings. Okay? Okay, Marcia is saying, was 7 families on a Saturday and 6 families on a Sunday. See, that is a profitable mini session there. So if you get like 13, how much? Like 125 times 13, that's 1,025 plus 250 plus 325. It's almost $2,000, right? That's not a bad. Let me see here if I can get a calculator. Whoever has a calculator here, just tell me how much that is. So 125 times 13, 1,625. That's not bad for the weekend, right? So counting that, this is like gross, right? Without talking about time for shooting, editing, and things like that. And Master, how many emails did you give back on your mini session? Let us know. So I will keep talking, then we can look at Master's scenario there. So build portfolio, reason number 1 to do a mini session. Reason number 2 to do a mini session, that I can see a mini session being good, something to do, to test new gear. And reason number 3, to test some new technique. You want to play with gels, you want to play with a smoke bomb, you want to play with something that is not in your toolbox right now. Mini session is a great way to do it. Okay, but again, in that case, your goal is not profit. You're not doing this for profit. You're doing this to either build a portfolio, or you're doing this to test new gear, or you're doing this to practice new technique. So Marcio said he gave 3 images. That's decent. That's decent. 125, 3 images, mini session, 20 minutes. You know, that's like 16, almost 1,700 in a weekend. $1,700 in a weekend. That's not bad at all. So that's, I can see a mini session work. But if you put like a price point like $35 or $50, that's not going to take you anywhere. If your goal is profit, right? If you're doing this for profit, so that's not going to take you anywhere. So first thing, have a goal. I'm going to keep coming back to this the whole night. Have a goal. You can't walk blind there. I'm just going to do this for the heck of it. You're not going to succeed. So your goals could be build portfolio, test new gear, or test new technique, or profit, right? If it's profit, it needs to be priced correctly. All right, this is the good. Now let's go to the bad. Okay, what's the bad part? You probably won't make as much money as you think, because we think in a way, clients think in another way, everybody's doing mini session, and that's pretty much it. If you're charging cheap, you're not going to make that much money, as much money as you think. So you will work your ass off, because it's not easy. It's not easy, right? So Marcio is saying, I won't do it for less than 125, and in my area, that's the average size, the average price. I believe that's what he meant. I think I can charge more. Yeah. So 125, 150, I can see doing like volume mini sessions, volume, a lot of them in 1 day or 2 days. But you're going to work your ass off. You need to think about this. It's not easy. It sounds very easy, but it's not, because then if people get delayed, if people get late, what you do? You need to have all of these already planned. Okay, so you're probably not going to make as much money as you think you're going. You're going to work your ass off, and the worst thing, you're going to attract people who's not going to value your work for what it is. You're going to attract people that is looking for the money, so for the deal. And that is not the way we do this, right? We talk about this here. You have to separate yourself from everybody else, and competition on price is a competition to the bottom. So in your plan, let's go back to the plan again, your goal, you need to know why you're doing this. And if you're doing this just for fun, if you get like 20, 30 people in there, that's not fun anymore. It is a lot of shooting, and after that is a lot of editing. Okay, so now this is the bad. Now let's go to the ugly. It can get even worse, right? The worst thing that can happen to you if you start doing mini sessions all the time, you're going to be known as the mini session photographer. That is the worst thing that can happen to your business. Okay, get to be known as the mini session photographer. All right. So it's not good. It's not good, because people will wait for the mini session time. If you do them every year, let's say every fall I'm going to do family mini sessions. Guess what happens? People talk to each other. They're going to see other people's pictures, and they're going to ask, oh, who is that photographer? Oh, that's Clay Souza. And by the way, every year he does a mini session on the fall, which is like $50, $75, whatever it is, and that's when you do ours. So that becomes a pattern, right? People, you wait until your mini session is out just to save money on you, right? And you're going to keep working, and not making enough money at the end of it. Okay, people learn your behavior, and they know every year. If they know every year they can do a mini session for whatever, for cheaper, why are they going to pay a full session? It's just, right, simple. It's simple. There's not brain surgery there. Okay, and another thing that is going to happen is that they're going to start referring their friends, and that may sound really good. Oh, referrals, but think about this: people who is looking for you for the price are poor people, and poor people is friend with who? Poor people are friends with who? With poor people. Nothing against poor people, because I'm not rich, But that is the reality of the business. So poor people know poor people who will refer poor people to you, and then you're gonna get a bunch of poor people knocking at your door. So I call this the poor people know poor people effect, right? You don't want that. You want to separate yourself from everybody else. So if you're doing mini sessions and if you're charging like $35, you're charging $50, it's not enough. You're gonna work all day long. You're gonna work 2 days, 3 days. And you're not going to get anywhere. All right? So this is what not to do. Does that sound right, guys? Do you guys agree with what I'm saying? If you agree with what I'm saying, please hit that heart button there. Let me see what you guys thinking. Let me take a sip of water because I have a dry mouth right now. Hit that heart button there. Let me know if you guys agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. So I'm seeing the hearts going up. So some people, there you go. Now they're coming. Really good. All right, cool. So some people are agreeing with me on that one. Okay, it's all about the price point, and it's all about your goal. What is your goal with the mini session? Now that I said the good, the bad, the ugly, let's figure out how to make it work. How can I make money with mini sessions? How does it work? If you're going to charge a lower price point, you need volume. You need a lot of people. All right? If you're going to charge $75, $100, you need a lot of people. You're going to work hard, but you need more people. That's the only way to make it. Okay? You need to make your offer desirable. All right? Because there is this law in business that says, let me remember this, how this goes. The more risk, that how it goes. The more risk the client takes, the less is the value of the goods. Let me say this again. The more risk your client takes, the less is the value of the good. The less they are willing to pay for the value of the good. So what does that mean in photography? If you are a photographer who are unknown, if you're starting right now, people will have to take a lot of chances on you. So they're not willing to pay high prices if they take a lot of chances. Does that make sense? Right? So the more chances people have to take on your product or service, the least they are willing to pay for high prices. And the same thing works in the other way. The less amount of risk they take on you, your price can go higher. Pretty much your price is tied up with the amount of risk that people are taking on you. If they're taking a lot of risks on you, maybe the pictures are not going to be good. Let's think about this. If you sign up for something and that thing is called, oh, you know what? One thing, subscription TV today, right? You go to HBO Max, it's got like $10. So, Hulu, $12, $8, whatever it is. That's such a small amount of money that you don't even think about it. You just make the purchase, but you forget that's every month. It's like every month it's taking that money from your credit card, right? And sometimes you don't even watch it. Okay, so because it's such a low amount of money, that such a small amount of money that you can take a chance. And same thing goes when you're doing business, right? The highest risk the client has to take, the least amount of money they're willing to pay. And the same way, the other way. If they don't have to take a lot of risks, they're willing to pay that much money. All right. So if you're an unknown photographer trying to do mini sessions, yeah, I understand you have to start cheap because you build your portfolio, you build those things. But when you build your portfolio, when you try new equipment, when you try new techniques, your goal is not to make money. Your goal is to build a portfolio, is to try new techniques. It is to try a new gear. Your goal is not to make money. You can't have both at the same time, guys. It doesn't work that way. So if you're going to make money on a $50, $60, $70 price point, you need volume. You need a lot of people. Okay? And you also need to limit the deliverables. You can't just say, oh, I see people, great, I'm thinking about doing a mini session, and so what are you going to, how much are you going to charge? I'm going to charge $75. And what are you going to give? I'm going to give 5 images. I'm going to 10 images. No, no. You get to get the deliverables low, and you need to do IPS. IPS is the way for you to upsell, right? You don't want to stop at that $75. You don't want to stop at that $50. All right. So what you do, you announce your mini session, and you're going to offer 2 images, or I don't even go. I wouldn't even go to 3 images. I think 3 images is a lot. I would offer 1 image or 2 images, but key, they have to come to your home studio. They have to come to your studio or whatever you do your IPS to pick the image. And that's why you're going to do it. You're going to build a slideshow, all right, and you're going to show them, you're going to edit all of them, and you're going to show them all of them super edit, and you're going to have a package where, okay, you have your mini session came with 1 image, but if you for this much more money, you can buy, you can have all of them. You see what we're doing here? The mini session is just a way to lure them to come into the IPS. Oh, but you know what? I want the online gallery. No, it's not going to happen, because you do not fall for that, because they're going to get the online gallery. They're never going to come back to the IPS. It needs to be stated once you advertise the mini session. It needs to be stated, you must come to our home studio or to our studio, whatever it is, to pick the image that you choose. Okay, and hopefully you have done a great job shooting and editing, that they're going to look at all those images, 20, 30, or how many ever you did, and you're going to go like, oh, I can't pick one. These are so good. And that's when you go. Oh, and by the way, if you can pick one, that's fine. Here's our packages for how many you can have. Then you can layer the package. You can do like one shebang, everything, or one or everything. Or you can have 10 images, you can have 20 images. So that's a way for you to make more than the $75 or the $50 you're charging. All right? And that's going to get you practice with IPS, right? You're going to learn the hurdles. You're going to learn the hurdles of sale. You're going to learn all of this. And this is all practice. The more we practice, the better we get. Okay? So shoot volume, number 1, and limit the deliverables. Let me see my timer here. This thing keeps dying on me. What's happening? Oh, no, Siri. No. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Okay, cool. So volume, right? A lot of people, if you are on the 50, 75 price range, and limit the deliverables. Do not forget to put 10 to 15 minutes in between the sessions, right? It's a refresh for you and give people some time to be delayed. Okay, and make sure also when you announce the mini session, when you write a contract, whatever you do, to let people know what they do, put some time, some padding time when they can be late. All right, so if you so-and-so sessions at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and if they show up 3:15, no, they missed it. They'll have to come to get to the end of the line, or wait for somebody who may not show up, and because then you're going to be pushing people who make sure they were on time, and that's not fair, right? So now, here is the 3 things you need to do to get this thing off the ground. You need to plan ahead. This is a way before the mini session. If you're thinking about doing November mini session now, you're too late. Too late. This planning needs to start on summertime, right? Plan ahead. Advertise, and more advertise. Just don't say I'm going to do a mini session and put some stuff on Facebook. Advertise on Facebook. Facebook and Instagram are your friends. All right. Do a dripping campaign on Facebook, $5 a day, and just let it. You can do like $2 a day. You can do $3 a day, and just let it drip, let it drip, let it drip. Start hitting people that way. Make sure you narrow your market well. But this works if you have advertising ahead of time, right? Advertising, where I am. make a hype out of it, right? Guys, you need to understand one thing, which I don't see you guys, a lot of you guys doing. I see some of you doing this. We need to understand that social media is here to help us. Either you like it or not. If you don't like it, suck it up, because it is here to help us. And we have to be where the clients are. And clients are on social media today. If you don't like it, I have bad news. Too bad. You just have to learn it. You need to be posting stories like 3, 4, 5 times a day. You need to be